Hi, my name is Milani Douglas. Welcome to Curative Collectives, where we talk to people working at the intersection of art, culinary, and food. And so today we have Sound Bites, our podcast that we have had a chance to. Well, I said it our because I already feel like I'm part of the family, but it's actually y'all's podcast. I had a chance to hang out with Sound Bites a couple of months ago and talk about reclamation. And today they're in here with us because we want to highlight people that are talking about food and find out some updates with them. So, how are you all doing? How's everybody doing?
Doing good, doing good. It's great to finally have this conversation with you, Milani. The show that we had it was great, great show, but I'm doing good.
Good. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey. I'm doing good as well. Thank you for having us on the show. Like Cam has said, that episode before, I still think about it from time to time.
Yay!
It's a lot of fun.
We had so much fun.
Definitely.
So, if you do want to see what they're talking about, make sure you check them on Spotify. You can also check them on their social media, Culinary Trapping. Is that right? Did I get that right?
Yep.
Okay.
On Twitter, Culinary Trapping, no G. Instagram, Culinary Trapping with the G.
Oh, okay. So listen, you got to code switch. I love it.
You got to.
Got to do it. Got to do it. So tell us what I want to know. How did you all start this podcast? What got you all into this?
You got that one, Cam?
Yeah, sure. So it kind of started from usually culinary trapping was kind of like bringing attention to the different ways in the culinary space that people may have not have seen or heard of, to shed light on different avenues. And with the boom in podcasting, I felt like audio was going to be another great way to show that.
That's awesome. So do either one of you have a background in food, or is the background just loving food?
I'll take that one. I would say more so just being around it, growing up and whatnot. So being in the kitchen during those Thanksgiving, Christmas moments. Definitely the family barbecues. I was always near the grill. I mean, I wouldn't touch the grill because that's like one of the number one rules of the grill. You let the grill master do what they do. You just watch from a little distance. But as far as like the formal experience, I mean, not really, just the love of it. YouTube University, trying new things when it comes to either in the kitchen cooking it or trying out new restaurants, and also being exposed to it just growing up through my work experience as well has helped like hone my skills as far as culinary experience.
And I think it's fair enough to say that culture is a classroom, that culture is a university within itself, and that if you could watch a grill master close enough to see what was going on, you learn some things. So we'll consider you certified. Cam, how did you get into food?
So me personally, I just enjoy eating food and learning about it. I have no experience when it comes to cooking. Only time I really do cook is if I enjoy cooking with somebody. Mm-hmm. That's what I enjoy, But other than that, I'm really not gonna get in the kitchen. But I do enjoy eating.
I'm so glad that you mentioned cooking with somebody, because that is the Southern way. That is the ancestral way. The kitchen is always where everybody is. Mm-hmm. We know that we can have all the comfortable seats in the living room, but everybody will pull up something to be in the kitchen. So we always it's always nice to hear how we cook together and how we come together. So now you two are in different locations.
Yeah.
How did you all? First of all, tell them where you are.
So I'm in Dallas.
All right. Right now I'm currently in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. And how did you all meet?
So the way we met, this is I used to stay out in Texas, in San Marcos, Texas, and they had a music festival down in San Antonio. What was it called? Malaluna. Something like that. Yeah. So I had went there. This when maybe a couple months after I moved there. So I went by myself. So I was sitting down in the chair and I looked over. The music festival was mostly non-black folks there, but so I saw another black individual next to me. So I'm like, hey, what's up, man? And then he just kind of looked at me crazy, and I was like, all right, that's cool. Like, whatever. And then we started talking after that, and like we became friends after that. Playing basketball every day, just simple activities like that.
So does your podcast have a music element to it?
Yeah, that one
Since
can.
that's where you guys met?
I would say when you would probably see artists that would get in the culinary space. Probably like recently, you probably see different rappers with the Reese's Puff collab who would discuss that, and maybe different artists or celebrities maybe having a food show or just talking about food or coming out with different products. We would discuss that.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, one reason that I definitely wanted to highlight what you guys are doing is also because regarding reclamation, people are always asking, is this project open to men? Because it's happening at the National Museum of Women in the Arts. Our mission at this museum is champions of women, and we know that there are men out here who champion women and support the work that we're doing. So we would always want to have you all included and have people submit to the project. So anyone, you can submit, and if you're not even wanting to submit a family recipe, maybe you have a memory, you can also submit a family story. And so like we had one person, they didn't submit a recipe, but they did submit a family picture, and they drew actually like a cartoon about their grandmother making pancakes. So we're accepting it all. Like we want to hear all those things, and submissions will open up July 5th. So Kim, I know you maybe you have to have somebody to cook with y'all put together.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're gonna put something together. I like the theme of champion women. It just immediately made me think of my mom and how I grew up on eating my mother's pasta, chicken Alfredos. It's amazing, but it just made me immediately think about that.
Facts. It made me think about my mom, my aunt, because they were always in the kitchen doing their thing.
And I think that we sometimes we forget it's easy to think about the art, but we have to think about the art that inspires and takes care of the artist. And a lot of times the art that takes care of the artist is usually related to food and usually related to comfort and some of the basic needs that we live in life. So what was the most exciting episode? We had a lot of fun, so you guys don't have to talk about us, but what was something that you guys had an episode that you were like, oh man, people should know about this?
I would say for myself, when we did the Oba Wines episode, the insight that we got into it, where I think when we think about starting the businesses, we think it's a lot of hoops you got to jump through, and it's a lot of obstacles that you got to jump through. But when he was explaining it, like if you have a vision and you just do the research, it's really not that hard. Like it's a lot easier than I would say the general public knows to really start a business that you are passionate about and that you love. So I would say that one definitely resonated with me.
I would say for me, we interviewed Kenesha Miller, who was the owner of EM Farms out there in Georgia. It's kind of right by you, right, Jeremy?
Yeah, that was like about an hour away.
And so having that insight in the agricultural industry was really, I feel like people should know this, definitely.
Well, I'm going to have to send you all some names because there's a couple of people up here. Samaria King, they just started Mutual Aid Apothecary about 2 years ago. And they have people working in the garden, and they're making herbs and passing out free herbs and free tinctures and medicinal, whether it's like lavender tincture or what's the one that I have up here? Yarrow root. And they're not only passing them out to the community, but they're also explaining what are the properties behind these herbs and showing the community how to make them. So that might be a little interesting something for you all. So I'll make sure I send you her information.
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah. So what's in the future for you all? What's up in the future?
You want to take that one, Cam?
I would say just continuing the podcast. I also thinking about, our theme is real food for real people. So anything that we do, we want to connect food with people and shed light on those stories. So we probably have some visual content coming up pretty soon.
Okay. So I love the name Sound Bites. Are you all working on merch? Because
Yes. So right now we have t-shirts available.
oh, good. Okay, so let's see it. Let me see the merch. Culinary Trapping. Okay, good.
Come on,
So we
fat.
got
You
the,
got to see the whole
real
thing,
food.
Kim.
Yes.
There you go.
I
See
like
it?
it. Okay.
So yes, the real food for real people.
I love it. I love it. And so how can people find the merch?
Yes, on the website Culinary Trapping with a G.com, and it should be a shop section. We got a store on the website.
Okay. Awesome. And so so we talked about the wine episode. As far as, did you say that was the person talking about wine business, or what did you say that they were talking about that you were very interested in?
Just like the business process of actually starting the wine business.
Okay.
So basically, they had went to the vineyard, chose which flavors they wanted, basically, and then went out and bought it from the vineyard, and then market as your own. So.
Okay, so they basically had a vineyard white label for them.
Yeah.
And then they focused on the marketing and the advertising.
Yep.
Yeah.
Smart.
Also shedding light on like wineries in general, like vineyards, and then people, actually have that and own that. And I thought that was really dope. And he talked about how much it would cost practically to buy like a small one, and I was like, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's expensive.
And so we have that one to look at. What's another one that you would suggest people look at? You talked about the sister with the farm. Give me her name again.
Kanisha Miller.
Okay.
Of EM Farms in Georgia.
Okay.
Yes. What do you think?
I would say any of the tea episodes too, where we talked about tea. Those are all. I always enjoy those, especially
I love some tea.
Exactly, especially the different like healing properties that the tea can do as well was always like mind blowing. Like no matter what kind of remedy you're looking for, like, oh, you need energy, all right, drink this tea. All right, you need to go to sleep, drink this tea. Oh, you're indigestion, drink this tea. Like it's just like different type of teas. Like no matter what you was going through, it's like, all right, we'll drink this one. I want to have a fun time, party time, mix it with something, drink this tea. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I like this tea then.
So has what you all learned on the show, how does it show up in your day to day? Like, are you changing some of the things you're doing?
Definitely have changed my eating habits. Definitely like make sure I'm eating in season of the foods, and just trying a lot of new things. Definitely.
Yeah, I think for myself, I'll go out my way to support Black businesses now. Before it's more like a convenience thing, but now like if I see one close, then that's where I'm gonna go. Whether it's even like laundry detergent or like any type of food, then I'm definitely gonna go to them first, then head to Walmart. Just check them out. So
yeah. And it's amazing, when you look at how much further your dollar goes and how many more people it helps when you're helping smaller businesses, when you're helping Black businesses, and so it's interesting to see your impact on people that you may even know, people in your community, and keep so in Texas, I know my dad makes gourmet barbecue sauce. But in Texas and where you all are, is there I know there's a barbecue scene in Texas. Is there one in Atlanta? Like, is that something that's also a huge part of it?
We just eat chicken wings here. I mean, there's barbecue here, don't get me wrong. But I mean, 9 times out of 10, if you ask somebody from Atlanta, like, what do you want to eat? It's going to be chicken wings.
Yes.
Lemon pepper hot, extra crispy, extra wet. That's like the formula for any
flavors.
Yeah, that's how I try to joke and I say that. And people are like, oh, you from Atlanta? I'm like, nah, I just assimilated to the culture.
Margaret had just put out the importance of eating in season, and you were talking about that. And so that's something that I think that when we look at what our grandparents did and we look at what our great grandparents did, a lot of this they were already doing. You know, they were eating in season because they were growing in season, and they were eating what they were, you know, growing. So are there any things that when you are talking to people that you're like, oh, okay, and connecting it back to things that maybe you saw with your family?
I would definitely say everybody kind of has their different family rituals, like we kind of discussed.
Mm-hmm.
And I love those type of conversations of what people are doing at the dinner table or what type of culture they might have when it comes to the kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy the piggyback on that, especially holiday culture, as far as what foods to cook and what's foods not to cook. I mean, one thing I've heard even like this week that somebody went to somebody's house and they made mac and cheese for Thanksgiving, and they put broccoli and zucchini and carrots and, you know, things you don't really, not saying it's nasty, but
Not traditional.
it's not the traditional.
This is not
There's a viral video literally last week where it was a group of aunties discussing, I guess somebody's going to put shrimp in the potato salad, which, I mean, that sounds good to me, but that you don't experiment during the holidays.
It could be Cajun, you know, Cajun potato salad.
Look, my mom is from Louisiana. That we don't do that. We don't do that.
I saw the video, and it literally, for anyone who hasn't seen this video, it is literally like not just the aunties, it is the grand aunties, and it's about 3 of them standing out after church. And it's like a hush thing. It's like, you know, did you hear? And then the person videotaping is like, oh, potato salad is the problem with the potato salad. And they were like, And wanted to keep on the hush. But it was literally like a meeting after church.
Yep. Urgent.
It was urgent. You could see the urgency.
Something wrong with the potato salad, golly.
But this is so, I mean, you know, I think it's so funny when we look at different cultures and we look at popular culture, and the things that will cause emergency in one family are like no big deal. And then in another family, it is a big deal, you know? And so I know at least for my family, when it comes around what you're doing in the kitchen and how you putting stuff together, because this is like dealing with people's basic needs. Oh, it's a big deal. You can really get in trouble.
Absolutely. If you not doing what you're supposed to do in there, you'll get, you get handled.
Yeah, and they won't forget too, because I was talking to one of my cousins, a family friend that came over. So we're talking. So they have like traditions where somebody bring a dish for Thanksgiving, whatever the case is, and one of the young ladies, they were in charge of the collard greens, and they still make fun of her to this day and said it tasted like water greens. They had no seasoning. But she said she learned from it. She learned from it.
She learned to make some different, listen and grow you. But listen to the language you said. They put you in charge of the collard greens. Okay.
Responsibility.
It is a responsibility.
This is your duty to the cause.
You didn't just find out about this, okay? So you should have had a practice pot and everything. Yeah.
The practice pot, no, right. For real. That's definitely a thing. The practice pot.
You got to.
There is Margaret is telling that since the pandemic, she's been picking vegetables as well. Yes.
Wow. Okay, Margaret.
Yes, a lot of people have gotten back to farming and gotten back to getting back. Well, you know, some people have had the time to, and then also we had a talk yesterday where we were talking about how even though some people may have had time to be at home, a lot of people had to still be out. And one of the main industries that did not stop was agriculture. It's not like people stopped picking food and people stopped, transporting food. So the agriculture industry still was in full effect through the entire pandemic. And people were also participating in it. So I hope we learned a lot about not only calling people essential, but we got to figure out some new ways to pay people according to their essential nature to our society.
Because we all got to eat every day.
Every day.
That did not stop.
No, it did not stop, I don't know if people being compensated and if they were taken care of the way that they were supposed to be. I don't know if that started. Have you guys seen the documentary yet, High on the Hog? Have you had a chance
It's
to look at
it's
it?
on my list.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch it this past weekend, but it's definitely getting watched within this week.
I haven't got the chance either.
Oh, please look at it. Dr. Jessica B. Harris, she's going to join us in September.
Okay.
And she's one of the main researchers behind it. And also the host is interviewing her for a lot of it. But there was one part where the host and Michael Twitty, and he was saying, okay, now I want you to taste the food. And the guy, he put like the back of his hand, he put like right there to put a little bit on his hand to taste it. And he was like, well, how did you know to do that? And he said, well, I can't put my mouth on the spoon. He said, yes, but how did you know to do that? And that's the kind of things that are kind of silently passed down, that you either have a little tasting bowl, you might have a little tasting bowl, you might put it on the back of your hand, taste it. But that documentary was just so great, and looking at the transferred knowledge that is obvious, but also there's little subtle details. Like, let's not put sugar in the greens. Can we not? Mm-hmm. Can we not do that? Can we not?
It's funny you mentioned that. It's like it's almost instinctive for him to do that.
Right.
Yeah. And there's a story in the food. There's like stories in food that we got to pay attention to.
That when he went to West Africa, that they did the same thing, except they made like a little bowl with their hands. So where we would put it like a little right here, they would put like make their hand really tight and put a little in there and then taste it, right? And I'm like, and so he was like, no matter where he's gone to study these food ways, this is the same movement when it comes. Nobody is putting their mouth on spoons and still cooking. They're putting the back of their hands, putting in a little bit, or have a little serving bowl. So I think you guys will really enjoy it.
Yeah, I definitely need to watch it like this week. I've heard nothing but great things about it.
Is there anybody that you all would love? Who's your wish list of who you want to talk to?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I
know.
I think.
Well, you guys might have to get back to me on that one.
Yeah, I will. When it pops in my head, I'm just like interrupt the whole conversation.
Because you never know, because Milani might know him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just blur him out. Oh, here we go. I got one right now. Just because of the cultural impact they've had, and remember they I'm gonna give you a hint. They have put out they put out a playlist every year of their favorite songs.
Of course, Barack Obama.
Yes.
Well, listen,
because I know his takes.
Work together to get him and Michelle.
Yes. Because his takes, I know his takes on food would be fire just because of his background growing up, especially being in Chicago too. I know it will be interesting takes from Chicago. It's like, well, what do you eat in the White House? Like, y'all still eating like chicken wings, or like what's going on there? Like.
And who might be an interesting interview? The White House chef. I wonder who cooked. I wonder who cooked for them.
For real.
That would be interesting.
Start doing our research.
Might have to start doing your research. If you all get that interview, I just want to be in the background.
We got you. Live audience member. We got you.
Good. And also Barack Obama and beer, which we had a conversation with Celeste Beatty, and she is the Harlem Brewing Company. A Black woman runs a Harlem Brewing Company, and she talked about how beer was brought over here from Africa as a tradition in African culture, and then that's as people that were enslaved, it was a part of what they were doing, and then of course stolen into mainstream culture. And so she was talking about reclaiming that heritage of like making beer, and so I think that's a interesting conversation as well.
Oh yeah, definitely that. I think we covered that in one of our podcast episodes. It was a brewery opening up in Columbus.
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah, it was a Black-owned brewery that was opening up in Columbus. I think like one of the first like in years or something.
Wow.
It's definitely about that time.
And the grocery store as well too.
Oh yeah, the first Black-owned grocery store being built in Columbus since was it 1940 or like 1920?
Whoa.
So
Yeah.
Wow, that makes me think of what's her the name of her market? Black Market, Kentucky, and Chantrice Martin. She's out there doing a neighborhood grocery store as well. You know, it's so many people doing such phenomenal work in the field with food, and I'm so happy to see some of the changes that are being made, and just happy for you all's platform bringing attention to it. And so tell people again how they can find you and get your merch and all these different things and support you.
Yes, so it's on all platforms, Culinary Trapping. So we got the website, culinarytrapping.com, the Twitter, Culinary Trapping IN, and Instagram as well, Culinary Trapping IN. You can catch the podcast. You just type in sound bites, or you can just probably type in Culinary Trapping, probably pop up. Yeah, on all platforms.
That's perfect.
Once again, the website, culinarytrappingwiththeg.com. You can find everything there.
Okay, that's good. And so please, on your platforms, let people know that Reclamation opens for submission on July 5th, and that we would love to have more men participate and contribute recipes. We know that a part of championing women and supporting women is also supporting in the household, supporting in other ways. And we know that a lot of people are helping households happen. And so I know they have some wonderful recipes to share about how they support their family and also just enjoy what you're enjoying in your kitchen. So please share with us. As always, I totally enjoy my conversation with you all. It's always vibrant and fun. So thank you so much for joining me this time.
Yes, we had fun.
Yes.
It's always a great time.
Thank you for having us. It's been real.
It's been real. So yes, look out for them. Look out for Reclamation. And we will see you all next week for our next episode of the Curative Collective, where we will be talking with artist Maggie Pate. And she's going to be teaching people, not in the Curative Collective, but she teaches people how to use food waste for dyeing. She's also a reclamation artist. One of the most beautiful dyes she did was an avocado seed that gave us this beautiful rose color. So we'll be talking to her, and it is a pleasure. Everybody, have a good night. Good night. Oh, it's daytime. Have a good day. Bye.
All right. Peace.